Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy. Today I am in the laser lab and I've got something to unbox. This is the Chuck rotary that came with the LaserMATIC MK2 that I have right behind me here. I just did an upgrade and I did a video on installing the 30-watt module the other day, and now today we're going to do the Chuck rotary. We're going to do everything all from start to finish, unboxing the rotary, putting it together, and running the first job, the settings in lightburn, how to get everything set up, start to finish. So stay right there, because this is going to be a good video if you're an owner of a LaserMATIC and you've got the Chuck rotary. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I've just opened up the box for the Chuck rotary, and the first thing that we see is the owner's manual right here. This might be a little hard for me to do with the camera in the way here. In here you've got all the information that you need to know about the Chuck roller, and this is in plain English, by the way. So it makes life pretty easy. I'm going to put that on the side, and inside the box we've got the parts in here. Let's go ahead and take these out. These are the little hands that hold the material in place, and these are the jeweler's tongs. I think I'm going to wait for a minute and just unpack this first, get everything out. So we'll put that over there. We have more foam here. This is almost impossible with this camera in my way here. But inside here we have the little package, and this is the cable that attaches to the control board. There's a nice regular tape measure that's got millimeters on one side and inches on the other. I like that. We've got a level so that we can level our material, our tumbler, whatever it might be. And we have a Chuck key. Oh, look at that. We have some test material hidden in there as well. So let's get the Chuck key out. We have the Allen wrenches and the screws for the teeth. I don't know what I would call those. And then we've got everything is packed in here really tight. Got a couple of test dowels that we can use to test it out. Over there is the Chuck roller. So let's get this out of the box. Actually, I'm going to do this outside the camera view. So there is the Chuck roller. Really nice heavy roller, which is what you would expect from Roly automation. And on the sides here you have the little tightening knobs, one in the front, one in the back. This is the actual Chuck roller. And then over here on the right side you've got the wine glass stem holder, or this could be the hold the back of any round object. There are two little knobs right here that you can loosen and slide this to wherever you need it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this assembled now and put some jaws on there, and we'll get started with this video. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do when you're setting this up, I've gone ahead and put the tongs on here. This sits into standoffs right there that you can see over here. There's only one way that this goes in. You do have to line up these holes with these pins in order for this to work right. And then there we go. So there. Now we've got it in, and it's perfectly stable. It's not going anywhere. And we have to make sure that the laser module, before we turn the machine on over here, is all the way in the up position, because it needs to clear this roller accessory. So you don't want to turn this machine on if the laser module is not raised all the way to the top position. And then of course anything that's on the laser bed that might get in the way needs to be taken off. So I'm going to turn it on so that we can get some light, and then I'll show you how I've gotten this hooked up. And that's a little better. So it's not homing right now because I'm not connecting it in lightburn, and I've done that on purpose so that I can show you what I've got set up here. So all I've done so far is I've plugged this wire into the control board. There's only one place where it can go, so you're not going to have a problem with that. And then over here I've fed the wire underneath the back and plugged it up over here on this side. Now you got to be careful not to put any tension on it, or else the plug will come out. You're never going to have it way up in that position anyways. That's about the position that I want to start in, and now I can go to lightburn and home the machine. And I have already raised this module all the way up. So now I will choose the laser. Let me switch over to the software. And you see, all I'm going to do now is choose the COM port, which it's COM 11. And I'll go back to the laser now and I'll show you what happens. So there you see the laser has homed. It's in the home position. It cleared the roller because I have it set all the way up. And if we switch back to the software again, I'm going to come over here to the Move tab, and the settings are already in here for the Chuck rotary right here. So all we have to do is pull down Save Positions, go to Chuck rotary, and I'll go back to the LaserMATIC, and you'll see now that it positions itself perfectly in the center. And all we have to do now is put our material on there, focus it, and run the job. Set our speeds and our powers and so forth. So that's how easy this is to set up. It is incredibly easy to use. You don't have to make any marks and position it and move the laser head and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to move that laser head out of the way for right now so that I can put some material on there. And then we'll actually run our first job. Okay, so we're ready for our first job. I've got a drink cup that I used on another laser that didn't come out so great. But what I need to do now is get this cup into this chuck. So I'm going to widen this up a little bit so that I can get this in there. And then I'm going to tighten it down just a hair. Come around here, put our key in here, our chuck key, and tighten this up without going too far because I don't want to bend the cup. And that looks pretty good right there. So now we're done with the chuck key. Let's put the level on here, and then we're pretty close. And we just want to check the level all the way across, make sure that we're in a good spot. I think the outmost part is usually where I try and get it perfectly level. And I'll tighten up this thumb screw, and I'll tighten up this thumb screw, and I think that looks pretty good right there. So we are level all the way across, and the cup can clear all the way around. I'm going to put this in any spot, doesn't matter where we do it. And I want to put a graphic right about here, somewhere in the middle or so. Any graphic for now. We're just running our first test. So I'll go ahead and go back to lightburn. And here in lightburn we can come back over here to the Move tab. Let me close some of these so that you can see this a little bit better. We don't need all of these tabs in here. So here's the Move tab. If you don't see the Move tab, this title bar right here, you can right click on here and just put a check mark next to Move and it'll appear. So in the Move tab now, I'm going to come back. See, it already says Chuck Rotary. All I have to do is click Go over here, and let me switch back to the laser real quick. When I click Go, it's going to go to the perfect position, dead center on that drink cup. So now the only thing I need to do is focus it. Let me switch back to the software. I changed the distance over here to 40 millimeters, and I'm going to use this right arrow now to move the laser head. It's important that we don't do anything by hand here, so I'm going to move it over 40 millimeters, and now I can set the focus. So I'll take my focusing tool here, unlock it on the side, raise this up so that it's perfectly in focus. This slides nicely underneath. Now I can lock the knob on the side over here, and we are ready to run this job. I don't think the cover will close. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. Yep, it will. So we can close the cover on this smaller cup. On larger cups, you may not be able to close the cover. So what you would have to do in that case would be take any magnet that you might have, and if we come right over here, just put the magnet right there. That's all we need to do. And now we can leave the cover open and run the job. But of course you will need to have glasses on in order to do this. Since we have a smaller drink cup and the cover will work, we're going to close it like that. I'm pretty sure that we want that graphic to be about 50 millimeters down. It really doesn't matter because we're just running the first test. I'll set something up in lightburn now, and I'll bring in a graphic, set the speed and the power, and we'll run the job. Okay, so I think I've got everything set up the way I want it. In here, you can pick the position. I'm going to show you how to do this in a moment. I think I want it to be like right about there, right in the middle of those two jaws. So that's where I want the starting point to be. Now we'll come back over to lightburn and get this set up. And what I want to do is I want to change from absolute coordinates to current position. So that way the laser's in the right position. And we want to set the job origin to be the middle, right there. And we have to enable the rotary. And now I can do it from here, the little round icon here, or I can go to laser tools, rotary setup, and in here I'm going to enable the rotary. It's a Chuck. I don't have to worry about anything else. I'm not even worried about calculating the circumference or anything like that. It's very simple on this machine. I've taken a graphic, any graphic, I just picked this one for this demonstration, and if I select it, you'll see that I've made it 64 millimeters wide, or really I set the height. So I set the height to 50 millimeters, and that's all I have to worry about. It doesn't matter where we put this on the workbed, makes no difference, because we are in current position over here from the middle. So if I click frame now, let's switch back to the laser, you'll see that the origin is now the middle, right where it is, and it's going to frame out from the middle. So let's hit frame, and that is about what I want right there. I think I'm ready to run this job. I've set my cuts and layers just a guess, because this is the first time I'm using the 30 watt. So just taking a guess, I set it to 25,000 millimeters per minute and 50% power. I don't know, that's probably too high. Might be too low, might be too high, I don't know. So all I'm going to do now is just start this job, and we'll get an idea. Let me make sure the air assist is on, and it is. Okay, so we're ready to start the job. I'm going to hit start, and we're going to see what happens. This won't take too long. I think I'm not going to speed this up. We'll leave it in real time. And it looks like that might be a pretty good guess right there. We're going to find out in a moment. So in the meanwhile, I will get my my paper towel ready. And it's actually looking like that is a pretty good guess. I think it's coming out fine. Yep. Let me get some, I'm just going to spray some isopropyl alcohol on my rag. And you can use anything you want. Most people like using a magic eraser and some, I don't know, some stuff from the dollar store. I just spray some isopropyl alcohol on there. And this is real time now, so you're going to see this in real time. And it is about halfway, almost halfway done. I don't want to speed this up because I want you to get an idea of how long this is going to take. So looking in lightburn, it says 3 minutes and 40 seconds is going to be the total amount of time. Right now it's counting down. We have just under 2 minutes left. You can see that's doing a pretty fine job. Looks like it might be a little bit too hot, so I might have to lower the power for. I'll do some more tests on this particular drink cup because I tested this on another laser and it didn't do a very good job. So being that I've got this cup, I'll run my material test on here and see what we get. But yeah, looking at it right now, it's definitely running a little bit too hot. We're almost finished. There's about a minute left. Spray a little more alcohol on here since it sort of dried up. And this is the very first time that I am using this chuck rotary. So you're getting to see my first time on this machine live. And we're getting pretty close to the end now. Lightburn says about 20 seconds left, 25 seconds left. And I think it's pretty close. 15, 14, 13, 10 seconds left. I like the new countdown feature in Lightburn. And there we go. So it is finished. All we have to do now is open it up. Let's get the chuck key and come over here and loosen this up a little bit. I never know which way to turn it. And here is our final product. I don't know how well this camera is going to focus on this, or if it will even focus on it, but yeah, the lighting in here is just terrible for this. Let's see if there's a way to do this where you can see it better. There we go. So there it is. There is our first job. The weekend hooker with the fish. I think that came out really, really good. I like it. It is a little bit too hot. You can see where I did melt the metal just a slight little bit. You can see some lines in there. Another trick to do is to defocus it just a little bit. So what we would do is just raise the module up maybe a millimeter and a half, something like that, and that will spread out the beam a little more and give us a better job. But I am happy with that. Very first project on the 30-watt module on the LaserMATIC. Very easy to do, very simple job. Okay, and finally the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch back to Lightburn here, and I'm going to take this out of current position and put it back into absolute coordinates because that's what I work in. And over here on the laser tab, I'm going to turn off enable rotary. And you can also come up here to the little circle icon, or you can go back to laser tools and rotary setup and turn it off from there. I just ticked off the little control right here. And now we can go back to using the laser the way we normally use it. That is the final step, and this is something that a lot of people forget. So keep this in mind. When you're finished using that rotary, you need to turn it off, or else you're going to run into all kinds of problems with the laser moving where it's not supposed to. Okay, I am admiring my work. The weekend hooker, and there it is right there. And you can see that that came out really, really good. Really nice job on this laser. Very simple. This is probably the easiest rotary accessory I've ever set up on any laser before. It's just so simple. There was a couple little things that I left out because I just wanted to do the setup today, but there is this little metal cup holder that screws into the wine glass stem holder, and this can hold the other side of a cup if you need it to. And also the bottom of the LaserMATIC, for a future video, I'll do a future video on it, but the bottom of it, 4 screws, and you take the whole bottom off and you can raise it up, and then you can do like stem glasses just by flipping the rotary over in the other direction, slipping it underneath the frame, flipping it over and putting a little weight on it. You can do any size tumbler that you need to do, any size rotary object, doesn't matter what it is. It's a very versatile machine, and I think I have I talked about this in the live stream the other night. I have these prototype custom risers for the machine so that I can raise it up and do any size that I want. And I think I'm going to patent these. But I've got a bunch of these down here already pre-cut, and that'll be a future video. So basically all you do is take the bottom out, put those custom patent pending risers under the legs to raise it all the way up, and put your rotary accessory in there, flip the chuck over and put a riser on it as well, and a little bit of weight, and you're ready to go, and you can do any size tumbler that you want. So that's really about it. I think this was the easiest. I know this was the easiest setup that I've ever done, and you saw it live for the very first time. I have not done this before, so I went from start to finish without a hiccup. And easy job, easy chuck rotary, really precise. The engraving came out perfect, exactly where I wanted it to be, and I showed you those steps in lightburn, and we're done. So I hope you enjoyed this video today as much as I enjoyed making it for you, as always. And I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.